Yeah, what's up, folks? Remember the Honda we had diagnosed about a couple days ago? This one that got towed in was very neglected. So we're gonna get to actually see all the neglect that has taken place. Just to give you an update, before it was running, now it's not. It backfired really bad. So not only did we have a burnt valve on, it should have been cylinder 3 for the exhaust side, but I'm not sure if the intake side is screwed up, but it's also getting each other's compression. That has to be taking place, and the head gasket smiling blown. So the coolant, there's nothing in here. There's nothing in there, and you see there's no air pressure. Lightly, because I'm going to try to start up for you, and then we'll probably get to experience some air pressure get accumulated in the cooling system. So we gonna see a lot. We're gonna see sludge, and just witness the pure neglect. Pulling the head off, we're gonna see what is taking place with this head gasket. I mean, it's probably gotta be all wavy and stuff. It's a lot that takes. Something happened, and again, right now it's not trying to start, and it backfired. It sounds like the rotor button has fallen or slipped off or something, and it sounds like the timing's off, like it's too advanced, and it's just wonky. So I wouldn't be surprised if I take that cap off and the rotor button is probably just dangling around somewhere in there. Let me start up and let you hear it. Put this back where it belongs. And it's strange that it just all of a sudden happened now. This ain't working. But again, the rotor button will have these symptoms. It's just not starting. I don't want to hold the accelerator pedal because it's late, and I don't want this thing to backfire because it sounds like gunshots. Did it twice. So we're gonna it still technically should have ran on 3 cylinders. Oh, let's see if there's pressure that got accumulated. Yep. Yeah. So we got a lot. This is gonna be an interesting one. Now, today I did wind up going to the machine shop and getting the cylinder head because they just went on here and jumped right on it. Got it taken care of. So I do have the new reman cylinder head. So I should be able to just pull this off and slap the other one on. But I'm gonna break this video up in 2 parts. So I don't have to fight with the spark plugs. So I'm gonna get a new set of those. The other head's okay. Remember, that other head came from the Honda I suspected that had that was the Facebook Sam car head. That was the original head. That's redone. Got a valve job and all that fancy stuff. So we're good. All right, let me shut up. Let's go ahead and pull this valve cover off and inspect this upper end stuff, the valve train, because man, you saw how bad that was sludged up. It looked horrible. And then we're gonna take the distributor out and pull that cap off because I'm curious to see if it's that rotor button is dangling around in there. So one more thing I want to do before I start tearing into this, we checked the exhaust valve. I was like, you know what, Brad, check the intake manifold pressure sensor and see if that's oscillating, because we know for a fact we're dealing with the burnt valve on the exhaust side. But what about the intake? Let's graph this. Use this. So we can use this as a pressure transducer. Slow this graph down and then see if we have, it should have a slow decline down to vacuum. If it starts to ripple up, go back to atmosphere, then we know we have a burnt intake valve. So let's start up, and that'll explain some of the backfire we're probably dealing with. Look at that. Yeah. So it's pushing back up to atmospheric pressure, 14 psi. And we likely got a burnt valve on the intake side somewhere too. So it's something worth being mindful of. All right, well, that's enough. I got a little trigger happy pulling things off, and I got because I had intentions of just pulling this valve cover off first and showing you, but as I start touching stuff, things start coming off. So let's pull this out and see what is taking place. I just know we're gonna be dealing with a lot of sludge. Ooh, man, oh man. Man, you know, as I was pulling this stuff off, I remember somebody in the other comment section talking about they probably wouldn't redo a head gasket for something that had like over 200,000 miles. But if you know that last motor, I think it was like close to 300,000. I mean, it looked phenomenal. Original motor. This, how many miles this had? 200, right around 200 and something. And look how filthy this looks. This is horrible. It looks very bad. Let me get a close up. Yeah, look at that. That is some show enough sludge right there. I don't blame anyone for not wanting to rebuild this. I totally get it. But you know, my curiosity get the best of me, and curiosity killed the cat. That's a good thumbnail. Man, look at that valve cover. That looks horrible. They replaced the valve cover gasket. It's coming out. That looks horrible. So we definitely had some mildly blown head gasket because coolant was getting in here, it looks like. I'll do my best as far as getting some of that sludge out the valve cover, but I can't make any promises out because I can finish this tomorrow and just get it done and out the way. Because like I said, I already got the head gasket and the heads. I'm waiting on the head bolt, so technically I probably couldn't. So it'll give me an opportunity to clean and prep everything and then reinstall all in one day. Man, it looks bad. That is some thick sludge. And like I said, I was kind of projecting, you know, because we pulled the oil cap off, saw inside of there, so we already knew what was going to happen. And like I said, half of it's going to be clean, bottom half is going to look filthy. It is what it is. I haven't seen one of these engines in so long. The neglect that is, I haven't seen anything neglected like this in a very long time. Hopefully that time belt look good because I ain't replacing that. Well, hey, it is what it is. All right, I'm gonna keep on keeping on. Then we'll take a look at those burnt valves. But first I'm gonna go to Chipotle, so I'm gonna see y'all in a couple hours. All right, I got the cylinder head off. One thing I will do, I know I don't have to, but I'm gonna get in the habit of pressure testing that port. Remember from the Facebook Marketplace scam video that that was a problem. So the head gasket looked fine. One of the biggest things I was worried about that you can't see if there's any gouges between the cylinders, and that's what will be a problem. But we seem to be fine here. Let me show you our burnt valve. It was on, where am I at? It was on cylinder 3, right? Was it on 3? Oh, yeah, there's our burnt valve on cylinder 3. And check this out. Cylinder 2 had a burnt valve. Remember that data we were looking at? Check this out. We got a hanging valve there on the intake side. So that's where that pressure was being pushed back up with the data on the map sensor. And that's why I tell you can use that as a pressure transducer. I'm not sure why it's hanging up though. Let's take a look at the camshaft. Oh gosh, got quite a bit to take. It's this one. I will have to make some adjustments to the cam, pull all that stuff off. Geez Louise, I don't even know if I want to go through all that and pull this crap off because it's just so nasty. And the only thing I really need to do is pull this VTEC solenoid off because I'm going to give this to the machine shop. Because like I was saying, they had redid the cylinder head I had before, which was perfectly fine. So I have that. And as a matter of fact, let me go grab that. This is the cylinder head. You remember from the other vehicle. So the machine shop wound up going through it, doing a valve job. So these valves are tip-top shape. At the bottom, These things look amazing. Threads are amazing for the spark plugs. Valves are seated properly. The only thing I got to do, tighten down the cam pedestal and just do a cold valve adjustment. No big deal. And replace the seal, cam seal, and the VTEC solenoid gasket, and we'll be in good shape. Now I know a lot of people probably wouldn't repair this. I don't blame you. But like I was saying before, because of the mileage difference with one engine over another, all this is just discretionary based off of circumstances. So I can guarantee you, once I do what I gotta do, this engine is still gonna run good. As long as there was no bottom end problems, he just gotta be proactive with keeping the oil change. Look at the drain backs. You can see just so much sludge in here. And it might not be that bad. Well, it's gonna be bad in the pan. I don't know what I was saying. Want to say it's probably gonna be that bad in the pan. If it's bad up top, it's gonna be bad down there. They didn't keep this thing up. Anyway, so tomorrow, I'm gonna go ahead and get the gasket material scraped off. Hopefully my head bolts come, because I'm waiting on those. I don't have them, and that's what's gonna hold me back. But in the meantime, I can replace some of the seals for the water outlet there, or inlet that goes to that thermostat housing. Scrape that gasket crap off, get that prep, replace some of the studs that are missing off the other cylinder head and transfer them. No, just do a general replacement. There's nothing special about this. It's cut and dry. Y'all seen it. But what I will do, I'm going to show you the first startup. Right now, the main thing, we got the head off. We saw the valve. The data showed it. I mean, not only from a visual inspection, but we did a compression test that was questionable, but the visual inspection showed a lot. But looking at the map sensor with the pressure transducer, acting as a pressure transducer on a graphical aspect, we was all able to see that it was bringing the pressure back up to atmosphere. Shit, I didn't even see that on camera, but I saw it on the data. And then when we pulled the head off, bam, right there, valve problem. So pretty cool. Look, if anything happened, I'm definitely update. Just look for that video for this first startup, and we're gonna see how this thing generally runs. Because I do have to fix the flex pipe at the bottom too. That's the main thing. So I might have to start up with the exhaust like loud, and then I'll fix the flex pipe, and then we'll get an actual running scenario with everything intact. So that first startup is going to be very important. And there's no flange, so it's the aftermarket converter on here. So they wound up cutting and welding. So I'm gonna have to do some welding. So no big deal. But hey, look, if anything happened, I'll definitely update. Hit that link, subscribe to the channel, stay informed, have a chance on my work. See you next one.